Shout out to all the self-appointed internet lawyers out there. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this now viral video that has blown up all over Twitter featuring a fight between a Kansas City, Missouri firefighter and a regular normie at a gas station. Now, unfortunately, the firefighter got shot and killed not by the guy he was fighting, but by the guy's girlfriend. She faces no criminal charges. She would not be in any kind of legal trouble at all. The boyfriend, however, is in jail. We'll talk about why he's in jail in a minute. But first, let's back up and explain what happened here and why it's so controversial. Now, the boyfriend, the regular normie guy, is in the gas station trying to buy some cigars. I'm not really sure for what, but we can pretty much put two and two together and figure out why. But they do not have his brand of cigars he wanted. So he's arguing with the clerk. They're going back and forth. He becomes irate. A firefighter's in there telling him to leave. The clerk says the same thing. Okay, you got to leave, get out of here, whatever. He refuses to leave. So from what I'm reading, the firefighter took it upon himself to be like, okay, let's get you out of here. And they get into a fight. The fight spills outside. Now, once the fight spills outside, the guy trying to buy the cigars goes to the car where his girlfriend and kids are at and gets his gun. Now, once the gun is produced, the firefighter engages him in the fight and is trying to disarm him, I suppose. Now, one thing that is said on the internet from the armchair lawyers is that the guy took the gun, went inside the store and threatened the clerk. That's not what happened. What happened was the guy was arguing with the clerk. The clerk tells him to leave. So does a firefighter. He refuses. And then the firefighter pretty much escorts him outside. They get into a fight. And once they get outside, he goes for the gun to do whatever, to defend himself, to hurt the guy. I'm not really sure. We'll get into that a little bit later. So they get on the ground fighting, and that's where the video resumes. I can't really play this. If you want to see this thing in full, I'll link to it in the description. I'm going to just pause it at certain points. So you see there's racial element right here. The guy on the ground getting whooped like no tomorrow. He's black. That's the cigar guy. And then the guy on top, that's the firefighter, right? So you got the whole black-white thing, white firefighter, black guy, cigars or whatever. And you see the guy on the ground is losing. He's getting whooped. So the girlfriend and the kids are in the car, and she does not know any of the backstory. She doesn't know about the whole cigar thing and the store confrontation. All she sees is this scene right here. This is what the police out there say. I'll get to what they were talking about a little bit more. So all she sees is this. How can she know what's going on inside the store when she was in the car the whole time with the kids, right? So at this point, I think the guy on the ground may still have his gun, but I'm not really sure. But at a certain point, the gun, when I'm reading the article, they say this gun right here was dropped on the ground. It appears like he's giving it to her right here, but I don't really know. They said that it dropped on the ground from eyewitness statements, and that could be the case. She probably don't know how to use no gun. She's like probably not really comfortable with it, but that's kind of what's going on. Now, some are going to say, well, he gave her the gun to kill him. You can't prove that. You can't prove in court that he gave her the gun and then told her to shoot him, and it's an execution. You can't go to court with that. What I've read is that the gun fell on the ground. She picked it up. So she has the gun, and she's telling the guy, the firefighter guy, to stop, get off her boyfriend, et cetera, et cetera. The kids are right there in the car. Get up, get up, get up. You see? And again, the boyfriend is not winning the fight. All she sees is this. So she is trying to defend the boyfriend, right? Now, here's a firefighter looking at her. Now, she's kind of like blading her body a little bit to where he may not see the gun, but he should see it. He should know what's going on because she's telling him, stop, stop, stop. The gun is right there, in her hand. You see a bag right there, or some kind of object. He's looking at her. He should know that he's no longer a threat. But, hey, you see, it continues, and then you see the gun is right there. He's right there. He's refusing to get up. Okay. And then right here, she points a gun at him. But again, in this video, you don't see the actual shooting. You just see the fight and this rear naked choke and things of that nature. Okay. Now, I don't know what the firefighter's actual goal was here. Was it to hold him down till the police got there? Was it to prevent from getting shot? I don't understand what the situation was. But she told him in the video, stop, 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 get up. He's refusing to do it. So she eventually shoots him one time, I think in the back. He gets up and goes back to the actual gas station. He collapses and he dies right there. Now, like I said, she does not face any charges because the police were like, look, in self-defense law, at least in Missouri, it's reasonable for her to think that her boyfriend was in danger of losing his life, being severely injured, and she does not necessarily know any of the backstory. She does not know why they're on the ground fighting. She does not know why he went to go get the gun. Could have been some guy that was menacing. Could have been the guy that was trying to attack him. She has no idea what's going on. Now, if he was the one that would shoot the firefighter, it'd be a little bit different, perhaps. It could still be it might be self-defense still, but maybe not. But the woman has him let go. It's self-defense, clear cut under Missouri law. Okay, now the boyfriend, like I said, the boyfriend is in jail because he's still a felon with a firearm. Now, you can be a felon with a firearm potentially and not have that be a crime. Typically, if you're a felon with a firearm, that's automatically illegal because you don't have the right anymore to your Second Amendment and you can't vote, but you can have those rights restored sometimes. But typically, if you're a felon, you can't have a gun. And of course, he cannot have a gun. So he's in jail for the gun charge, but not for any kind of murder or anything like that, because you got to be able to prove that he gave her the gun with the intention to kill this man and all this and that. You know, you can't prove any of that in court. He was already out. I think he might have been on probation for armed robbery before. So he had a record. He'll probably do some time for the probation, probably do time for the gun, but not anything else. He did not go into the store with the gun. So it won't be any kind of armed robbery, any kind of menace into the store. The only thing that happened in the store was trespassing at best, because they said he got to leave and he didn't want to leave. So at best, you got trespassing. That's kind of not even worth prosecuting. The gun is going to be the biggest thing because, you know, convicted felon, gun, that's a slam dunk, easy case. Trespassing, menacing, threatening words, that's not going to be nothing. But she has no charges, and rightfully so. It's self-defense because she doesn't know. All she sees is that her boyfriend's getting choked out. That's all she sees. She's telling the guy to stop, and he doesn't do it. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is. Self-defense all day long. People are kind of like, people are upset because they think that, oh, he's a felon with a firearm, therefore it should be murder. That's not how that works. See, it's an old saying, I'd rather be caught with it than be caught without it. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Okay? If you have a gun as a felon and you can't have it, or if you have an illegal weapon as a normie, you can still defend yourself. Let's just say it was him defending himself without the whole store incident. He can still use the gun to defend himself and his family if there's a legitimate threat and not face any charges like murder, manslaughter, or anything like that, because that is still self-defense. However, there could be a gun charge. Let's just say there's a home invasion in this house and he uses a gun that he has illegally to defend himself and his family, and the guy that he shoots dies. Would that be a murder charge? Would that be anything else other than self-defense? No, it won't. They may throw the gun charge in there. You know, if you got a mandatory minimum, something like that, they pretty much got their hands tied. It's like, okay, I'll give you the 5 years for the pistol, but anything else, I'm going to just not even prosecute because it's self-defense. That's how that works. Just because there's an illegal weapon does not mean there's also a murder charge that goes with it. So that's pretty much that controversial video. I don't want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Is this the right thing to do, to let her go with no charges and to not have him face murder charges? Because again, if you're going to say that that's murder, what he did as far as the whole weapon thing, you got to prove that A, he gave her the gun and it didn't fall, and he had the intention of wanting her to kill him for a specific reason. You see, again, all she sees is that her boyfriend's getting choked out and stomped into the pavement. That's all she sees. She doesn't know any of the backstory about the whole Swisher Sweets and the gas station and the trespassing. She doesn't know. Even if she did, does trespassing warrant all of this? Why are they fighting over that? Now, I could see if he was in there with the gun waving it around at the clerk or something. That's a different story, but that didn't happen. That's not what's going on. So I want to hear you guys' comments. Y'all let me know in the comments below, and I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that this was legitimate? Was it the appropriate decision to not prosecute her on any kind of charges? And the same thing with him, to not prosecute on murder, second degree, or whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It appears to be a textbook case self-defense. I don't see how it wouldn't be. You know, his background is really irrelevant to the whole story. It's only relevant because he may have a charge related to his background as far as probation or parole. Like if he's out on parole, probation, and he violates, he'll get time for that. But that's the only reason why it matters. It also matters because the gun was illegal. But like I said, sometimes you can have a gun if you're a felon, if you got your rights restored, but obviously he did not. And also there's an extended magazine in the weapon. You see the extended magazine right there. That's not illegal in Missouri. There's no restriction on magazine capacity in Missouri. In California, that'd be super illegal. I think you got a 10-round magazine capacity limit on rifles. So to have this, crazy extended magazine and a handgun would be most certainly illegal, but not in the state of Missouri. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.